Hello, this is Rayne, and welcome to another episode of Wind Down Wednesday. This morning I've got a special guest, Brandi. Welcome here to MVAR.
Well, thank you. It's a beautiful establishment, and I'm just happy to be here with you, Rayne.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I thought we start by maybe an introduction. You can
Sure.
introduce yourself to the audience, and maybe I see that you have a bottle of wine as well.
Couldn't come to Wind Down Wednesday and not have a bottle.
Exactly, yeah.
So, good morning or good day, everyone. My name is Brandi Bridgett. I'm a financial strategist. My office is located at National Harbor in Maryland, and my job is to help individuals understand really the three buckets of money: your taxable bucket, understanding your tax deferred one, and most importantly, creating your tax free bucket. So I work with families, couples, individuals, corporations, and my job is just to be that unconventional advisor that you have a kitchen table conversation with to really help you throughout that journey of understanding financial literacy.
Yeah, that's great. And I think we met at a DC Borbiz event
We
for
did.
military.
Absolutely. So along with that, I am a Gold Star wife, a title that most people do not want to get. My husband served 6 years in the Marine Corps and passed away in 2013. And so now I'm here continuing his mission, helping individuals, especially veterans, understand financial literacy to give them that peace of mind that they deserve. And so now I'm here with three little ones carrying on his mission.
That's great. And how old are your kids, Brandi?
Now they are 14, 13 of Sunday, and 9. So college and all of that is at the forefront of my mind.
Oh yeah, well, happy birthday to your kids, and
Thank you.
I'm curious in terms of personally how you're planning for kind of paying for your kids to go to college.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was at a recent alumni event at Northwestern, and
Yeah.
I heard from a student that's in school that tuition's around $60,000 per year, and housing's around $20,000 per year in
Yes.
Evanston, Illinois. So
It's getting scary. As a financial strategist, I'm constantly seeing people come in with student loan debt, and they are plagued with how to get rid of it, how to make this go away. And, in today's world with COVID and everything else changing, the employment opportunities are just always changing.
right.
Right. And so now being not only the strategist, but a parent on the forefront of this, it's kind of like I'm looking at it from both sides. How can I make this a more advantageous way for us to plan for college? Especially since now, I have 3 and I'm a single parent. There are a lot of single parents out here trying to ask that same question.
Right.
So I've looked at a couple different things, and that's why we've connected, because real estate is one of those things that I want to put in that portfolio in order to enhance that, along with incorporating some insurance opportunities as well. And then I've also just created a scholarship opportunity for individuals that come in and see us as well. So combining those three, I think would make a good balanced portfolio in order to be able to assist with that. But I definitely am looking into creating maybe a multi-unit near the school, purchasing that, figuring out how does that balance out, whether I should be the one purchasing that. Do I put my child on it, right? Because then
Right.
we look at the different grants and scholarship opportunities. Will that hinder it? But most importantly, just buying it, period, right? Because as we were talking about earlier, the cost of living when it comes to tuition, that's pretty much the big bulk of it a lot
That's
of
right.
times.
Yeah.
And so if we could find something near the university or college where we can purchase that, and now 2 or 3 of their friends are helping pay that. So one, I was thinking of that for my own selfish needs, because I don't ever want to have to go after every semester and move people out.
Sure. Yeah,
You know?
especially in the summertime.
That's
Yeah.
so crazy.
Uh-huh.
What if there's some externship or internship opportunities?
That's right.
We've got to move out at Christmas, and then we got to move you back in, and then who does all that? So I want something where you can build a life during that 4 years and give back and create community. So purchasing a home or a multi-unit dwelling is something that I'm definitely looking into. And then that's, going to be closer towards that time frame where we know where they're actually going to school or where we're trying to go to school.
That's right.
And then now in the beginning interim, I'm looking at, we built insurance policies where we're putting money into instead of a 529. So therefore we can create access to that as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have heard of the 529 in terms of a way for them to kind of save up money for college, tax deferred. Maybe you can talk to us a little bit more about this insurance policy, because that was new to me this morning when we talked.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head. Most people know of the 529 because of the tax deferred opportunities. But so many people don't even realize that they may not even be in the realm where it's doing anything for them from a tax deferred advantage. So I have been able to, as a strategist, understand insurance, life insurance particularly, where we put money into this plan. And then so therefore it's a permanent policy, not a term or a temporary one. And so the same amount that I would have put in a 529, I just redirect into this policy. And so now it's continuing to grow and grow over time. So therefore, when they're 18, I can now take a distribution from it and start paying for their college. And it may not be for tuition because they may get a full ride. Right. So now that money can go for room and board, or it can go for books, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't have all of those restrictions that a 529 has. And so therefore, if they do get everything covered, knock on wood, right, then we can just continue to move that money towards other avenues or major events in life.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, kind of getting this insurance policy is probably cheaper to get started earlier.
Absolutely.
Versus when you're buying this insurance policy later in life.
Correct.
Right?
Because the cost of insurance, I tell people, monetize your youth. The cost of insurance gets so low when you're younger. So therefore, the more money you're putting in there above and beyond the cost of insurance now goes into your cash accumulation account that continues to grow and be advantageous for you. And now you've got other taxable advantages. And a lot of times if we manipulate it correctly, those are tax-free opportunities.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I mean, I think having anything that's tax-free, I think, is really beneficial for a lot of people, especially, with higher inflation these days, and people are trying to figure out ways to save.
Yes.
Before we met, I was looking at housing around George Mason and how much it costs to live on campus at George Mason, and I was really surprised that, there's I heard there's not enough housing at George Mason. They're still trying to build more. I see more and more new construction around George Mason since I live in Fairfax. And for a single room within a dormitory style building, it costs around a little over $13,000 per year.
Wow.
So that's a little over $1,000 per month.
Right.
And as you mentioned earlier, that's you still have to consider like the summertime holidays where you have to move them in and out, versus if you had purchased a place perhaps close to George Mason, you could rent that out to other people. And I was also thinking that it would help your kids kind of gain a sense of responsibility as they're helping you manage the property as well.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the main stakes is you want to have them feel like they have ownership or stake in something, because I think they respect it more at that point. And so finding a home near the university it just creates that sense of adulting while you can still create that relationship and help nurture and guide them. So therefore, by the time they are graduating, they've got a sense of what it means to have these responsibilities, and you're creating a much more productive person in the workplace.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe after they graduate, you can have them kind of manage the property. It could be their first investment.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of kids are really lucky to have parents like yourself, Brandi, that are thinking ahead.
Yes.
And, I think most parents, we don't have kids, but I think, most parents want their kids to have like the best kind of, step along their journey in life. And, as parents, you sacrifice and do a lot of things for your kids so then they can have a better start.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you got to have them have some stake in the game too.
Yeah,
I was just listening to one of my friends. They have kids at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. They have a housing problem. A lot of colleges are now starting to have dormitory issues. There's many more kids wanting to come and not enough housing. So we are having to look for these Plan B opportunities. And I think diversifying that and creating that real estate component is going to be really critical in the growth of our community again. And I think that's one way that we're going to be able to help this economic development to continue to grow.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks so much for sharing. The other thing I thought I'd just share with the audience is just some examples of some multifamily housing that's available.
Absolutely.
So as you can see here, this is examples from a housing study that was done in Arlington. And these are examples of single lots and duplexes, and they go all the way up to like 8plexes. So in a sense, this is like a little mini dorm, mini apartment that you could purchase and, rent out. Obviously, there's townhouses that you can purchase and rent out and have roommates within there. but I actually really like duplexes and triplexes because they're situated in a way where they have different entrances and exits. So it's a little bit easier for different tenants to have some privacy. And then as well, there's, these eightplexes that are pretty rare, I think, in Arlington in this area. But I definitely would be interested in talking to anyone, including yourself, Brandi, when you're ready, to look at some of these multifamily, because I think this makes a lot of sense for a lot of people that are planning ahead in terms of putting their kids through college and kind of taking care of that one component of really high housing, high college costs is the housing component.
Absolutely.
So how can people, I guess, reach you if they need to?
Absolutely. So my website is The Agency at National Harbor, or theagencynationalharbor.com. And right now we're starting an entire stint. So for anyone that has children 16 and under, they can get enrolled into a scholarship program. And the scholarship program is proactive based, right?
Okay.
So once we put them into the system, they automatically get 1,000 points, and a point is $1.
Okay.
Right? And so the more financial literacy opportunities they go through, then we're able to give them more points. They can earn up to 62,000 points.
That's a lot of real money.
A lot of real money to over 450 colleges across the country. That amount of money for tuition is growing, along with the schools that are accepting that. So we're super excited to be able to incorporate this into our plan. So anybody that wants a free financial analysis, want to learn more about that, they can go to the website, theagencynationalharbor.com.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like financial literacy is really important, not only for kids, but also for adults.
Yes.
Well, that's great. Well, I thought we'd just maybe conclude. I know you had brought a bottle of wine that you can recommend to everyone.
Yes, so this is La Ferla. I just got back from a Mediterranean cruise, and I had some Sicilian pizza. So anything from Sicily right now is dear and near to my heart. So this is a red blend. It's really neutral. It's not sweet. It's not too dry. It's just really perfect for that Wednesday afternoon that you want to relax and take some time to yourself to regroup and think about your next real estate purchase.
Yeah, well, I'm jealous about you going on that Mediterranean vacation. I feel like I need a vacation in the wintertime.
We might have to make that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think in terms of wine, I've always thought, like, if you don't know what wine to pick, is to kind of like, if you're having pizza in Sicily, to have some local wine or cheese to pair with that.
Yes.
I think in terms of a general rule of thumb, that's a good way to kind of pair food and wine.
Do what the locals do.
That's right. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for the wine recommendation.
Absolutely.
And again, thank you for kind of watching another episode of Wine Down Wednesday. If you need to get a hold of me, you can reach me at 703-216-2692 or email me at raynewoorealestate@gmail.com. Have a great week, and thanks for watching. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.